The smartphone company, Nothing, likes to call themselves a startup because they aren't a big player like Samsung or Google. But it's choices like this that show why the company is still floundering. Today, I wanted to highlight the two new smartphones that they just announced. We have the Nothing Phone 4A and then the Nothing Phone 4A Pro. And honestly, I'm just speechless about this phone. So let's start with the more affordable of the two first. But before we get into that, I wanted to let you know that Amazon just announced a more affordable plan for Audible, and you can sign up with a free trial of it right now. It'll cost you absolutely nothing, and it'll really help the channel out. I bought the Nothing Phone 3A because it was a nice option for what it was. Not the best value for the price, but they are friendly to those of us who like to unlock the bootloader and root our phones. So it was a nice compromise. And then they started making some crazy decisions. They announced an upper mid-range phone at flagship prices. The company migrated to the glyph matrix display on the back, which was surprising because the LED design had become so iconic for them. Sadly, full specs and launch details seem to be under wraps on this phone, and to me, that seems a bit wild, as it's definitely the more interesting of the two phones that they just announced. And then we have this phone. Nothing seems to be proud that it's wrapped in metal, but that completely ruins the design aesthetic that most of us enjoyed with hardware from this company, at least in my opinion. I mean, look at this camera module. It's the only piece of transparency that they stayed with, but it just looks so crammed together. Nothing is calling this camera module the window, and for the $500 launch price, I think it's going to be very difficult to sell folks on an 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, and the Snapdragon 7 Gen 4 chipset for that price, even if you really enjoy the metal body design. I don't know. This launch just seems to be taking Nothing into the wrong direction. The company clearly seems to be struggling, and I'm just not sure a hasty launch like this is going to help them. But let me know what you think down in the comments section below.